Hearty welcome to all knowledge seekers to my channel. This is Dr. Madhusudan Rao Kadapa. In this video, I am going to explain about the need, objectives, principles, characteristics, and types of layouts. First, let us start with the definition of a facility layout. In some other video, I have explained about the facility location. So by facility location, we will aim at finding the optimal place considering several factors to establish an organization. So once the facility location is identified, the next step is to find out how best we can utilize the available space and how best we can organize the positions of different departments, work centers, amenities, storage space, aisles, cafeteria, offices, restrooms, etc. within the available space in order to optimize the material flow as well as the movement of men, vehicles, etc. So we can define facility layout as the process of planning the optimal position of different facilities in the organization, considering the factors such as material flow, movement of men and vehicles, etc. Now, factors to be considered for plant layout. While designing the plant layout, we must know how many types of machines we are going to use and what is the type of machine, how much space it requires. In the sense, a machine may occupy some space, cubic space. Around the machine there must be some aisles for free movement of materials or the workers, and there must be some space to carry out repairs or any maintenance activities. Then how work centers are to be configured for optimal movement of men and material. So this depends on the sequence of operations and the number of machines, whether we follow a product layout or process layout or some other type of layout. Accordingly, how many work centers are required and how best we can arrange facilities for movement of men or material. And the next factor is that what are the work centers or amenities to be included. There are several work centers which depends on the type of product, its design, the processes. And amenities to be included also depends on the type of the organization, the nature of product and the process, and where should each work center or department to be located. So considering the sequence of operations and the proximity of a particular department to the other departments, the material movements, volume and frequency, how much material will be moved and how many times there will be movement of material or men in between the facilities. Accordingly, we have to identify the space or location for each department within the organization. Need for layout design. That is, suppose we are establishing a new organization, then the layout design will be altogether new. So we have to start from scratch. In such case, we have to determine long run efficiency of operations and to achieve flexibility, optimum capacity, cost control, goodwill of customers in case of service oriented organization, and work simplification, product or process quality, etc. So here flexibility means, suppose we arrange the machines or facilities in a particular sequence or maybe in a particular place within the organization. There must be some flexibility to accommodate additional number of machines in case if the volume of production has to be increased, or there must be flexibility to change the machines depending on the change in sequence of operations. So the flexibility, maybe it all depends on the type of machines we are using. Certain machines may need heavy foundations, and once a machine is erected, most of the times it may not be possible to move the machine from one place to the other place. And in some other cases, there may be flexibility that a machine can be easily shifted from one place to the other place. So the extent of flexibility depends on the type of machine, its capacity, its size, and so on. And coming to the optimum capacity, that means depending on the demand for the product, we will determine the capacity of different departments, and in order to balance the line and to avoid production bottlenecks, we will arrive at optimum capacity of machines in each and every department so that the material flow between different departments will be almost uniform. And cost is a very important factor in designing the layout. So we have to focus on cost control also. And if we arrange the facilities such that there is backtracking and there is more movement of machinery, material, or men in between the facilities, then automatically the cost of operation will also increase. So in order to optimize the cost, we need to design the layout in a proper way. And coming to the goodwill of customers, especially in service oriented organization, the customer feels bad if the process, how we are providing service to the customer, is lengthy, or sometimes it may require the customer to wait, or maybe done in several stages. So in order to achieve customer satisfaction as well as to gain goodwill, we have to optimize our processes, and we have to arrange the layout such that the customers need not move between different work centers, or you may call different persons who provide the service. In work simplification, product or process quality, these are all the other factors which may necessitate the need for layout design. And to achieve strategic advantage of low cost, quick response, and flexibility, and to meet competitive requirements of the firm, and to minimize hazards, accidents, etc. by providing safe working environment for the employees. This is a very important factor, because if the layout is designed such that it may cause some hindering, or the aisles may not be clear, or the facilities while moving between the people or material while moving between machinery or equipment may cause any hazard or accident prone. In such case, the working environment may not be safe for the employees. But if you want to have a safe and hazard free environment, working environment for employees, we have to design the layout in such a way that the things are clearly visible, and it should be easy for the persons who are watching the entire process from their cabins, or we must provide the ease of supervision, and the aisles between the facilities should be sufficient in order to avoid any accidents. And even if any accident occurs, there must be space and provision for the workers to escape from the threats. So these are all the things we have to consider, and which may necessitate the design of a layout. If it is altogether a new organization, in such case, these are all the requirements. When it comes to the existing organization, where there may be some problems with the existing arrangement of facilities, in such case also there may be a need to redesign the layout. Here, these are the points to be which may demand for redesigning the existing plant layout. First one is to avoid accidents, health hazards, and safety related issues. Suppose the present layout of machinery or equipment is such that it is accident prone and some health hazards are there for the employees, and there may be some safety related issues arose in the past. In such case, keeping all these things in mind and to avoid such accidents or health hazards and to protect the working environment, we have to go for redesign. To meet the changes in the environmental or legal requirements, naturally, the environmental and legal related formalities or rules and regulations will be changing from time to time. So the organization must cope up with such changes, and whenever any such demand arises to take care of the employee safety or any environmental related things, in such case we have to redesign the existing plant layout and to facilitate changes in process, method and equipment. Suppose the manufacturing process, there may be some changes in the manufacturing process, or there may be some changes in the methods, or maybe in the equipment which we are at present using. In such case also we have to go for redesigning the layout and to facilitate changes in product or service design. Even if the design of the product or the design of service changes, it may also demand for redesigning the layout in order to arrange the new type of machinery or equipment or the service facility to provide the required type of service as per the new design. Then to facilitate changes in product mix or volume of production. Suppose a company is dealing with different types of products in different quantities. If the quantity of demands for different products change, automatically the product mix will also change. Or even if it is a company producing a single product, if the volume of production or the demand is changed, automatically we may have to go for a different type of machinery with higher capacity. In all such cases, we may have to redesign the layout. Then to facilitate introduction of new products or services. Suppose we are having already few production lines which are producing different types of products. Now we want to introduce another product using the same facilities or within the same plant. In such case also, depending on the new product's design or the manufacturing process, we may have to add some other machines or equipments, and accordingly we may have to make some changes in the existing design. In such case also there is a need for redesigning the layout. Then to improve employee morale through providing good working conditions and to minimize production bottlenecks and minimize costs, to avoid unnecessary movements of men or material among the facilities. So these are all the factors we have to which may demand for redesigning an existing layout. Coming to the objectives of a plant layout. Why plant layout is very important and what are the objectives? First is to utilize the available space efficiently and effectively. That means an organization may have sufficient land. It doesn't mean that the entire land has to be used for the existing plant. So depending on the space required for each and every facility, we will arrive at the working space, easels, and space for maintenance, space for storage for each and every facility, and accordingly we will arrive at the space requirements for different machinery and equipment. So considering all the machinery and equipment, the available space can be utilized in an optimal way by providing sufficient space for different machinery and equipment and utilize the available space in a most effective and efficient manner. to reduce idle time of men and machinery. The idle time of men and machinery depends on how best we are arranging the machinery and equipment in the plant layout, and how best we are providing the material handling mechanism so that the materials as well as the men working between different facilities will have lesser movements or minimum movements as far as possible, and at the same time the idle time of men and machinery has to be minimized, and to improve employee morale through safe working conditions, and to optimize the flow of men, materials and information, to facilitate better coordination, face-to-face communication. In organizations where there are machines, suppose the machines are of lesser height, then the people working on different machines may look at each other, and face to face they can communicate, because in organizations when machines are running there may be a lot of noise, so people may communicate face to face, and even the supervisor can look at what is happening in different work centers or on different machines. So in order to facilitate this kind of coordination as well as communication, and to provide ease of supervision and ease of maintenance, and to facilitate product mix and volume flexibility, that is expansion. So while calculating the space requirements for different departments, having different machinery of different capacities, we have to consider the space requirements for future expansion also, and to reduce congestions, bottlenecks, accidents and hazards. So congestions will happen when the space is not sufficient or there is backtracking of materials, and bottlenecks may occur when the line is not properly balanced, and accident may occur in case of any wrong handling of the machinery, or the space is insufficient for the worker to escape, and hazards may take place fatally or maybe due to human errors. So to reduce all these types of problems, we have to prepare a plant layout or design a plant layout in an optimal way, and to improve production capacity and productivity, and to facilitate changes in layout due to change in product or process. So there must be the flexibility in changing the layout as per the new design of the product or changes in the process. And coming to the layout requirements, the type of operations determines the layout requirements. Now, whether the layout plan is made for current need or future need, that means we are not bothered about the future demand for the product or what happens in the future. So current needs may necessitate a type of layout plan. Suppose we are considering the future needs, then the plan will be different, and whether to go for a single story or multi-story building design. So it all depends on the type of product. Some products which may require uh, machines or equipment which may be taller, in such case in order to provide facility to repair or maintain such machines, definitely we have to uh, plan it in a multi-story building. In the sense, there must be different levels. It may not be exactly multi-story building, but it should be at different heights, and some products may be such that all the product activities on the product may be carried out in a single story building. So accordingly we will decide whether to go for a single story building or multi-story building. Then what type of layout to be designed based on the product or service. Here the layout types are product layout, process layout, fixed position layout and mixed layout. So I will explain about these types of layouts in the forthcoming slides. Then coming to the performance, which performance criteria we are emphasizing. Accordingly, we will decide on what type of layout we have to select. Now coming to the factors influencing layout choice. First one is location of the plant, where the plant is located and what type of product we are manufacturing. And then coming to the second one, machinery and equipment, what type of machines and equipment we are going to use for our product. And managerial policies, what are the managerial policies regarding the layout type or layout design, whether they are planning to have a design for the present requirements or the layout design has to be made for considering the future requirements, or for an existing organization what the management is thinking about to redesign the existing layout to take some strategic advantage or to optimize the costs. And then type of materials we are using in our product, and type of product itself, and type of industry. Here we come across different types of industries: synthetic, analytical, conditioning, and extractive. A synthetic industry is that where it uses 2 or 3 different raw materials to make a single product. For example, cement, then iron, pig iron or steel, whatever it is. Then analytical industry is that where a single raw material will be there, and from which we will extract different products at different levels or different stages. For example, oil refineries, where we get petroleum, diesel, tar and so many other products from the crude oil. Then conditioning industries, these will require some temperature and humidity conditions, and these are meant to make some products which are typical, especially the medicines, and then fruit pulp and some other products, textile also, yarn and other things, even the tanneries. These are all conditioning industries. And extractive industries are those which extract the raw material from the ores. So depending on the type of industry also, we have to make a choice of layout. And then facilities for workers, what type of facilities we are going to provide for the workers within the organization. Accordingly, we have to select the type of layout. Then principles of plant layout. While designing any plant layout, we have to consider these principles which are very important. First is the principle of minimum travel. That means the layout should be designed such that the material or men should travel a minimum. That means we have to minimize the distances as well as the frequency of travel of material or men between the facilities. Then principle of sequence. So for any process there will be a particular sequence of operations. So we have to arrive at the best sequence to make the product from raw material stage to finished product stage. Then principle of utilization. According to this principle, we have to utilize the available space in a most effective and efficient manner to optimize the utilization of the available floor space as well as the facilities. Then principle of compactness. Even though we have a lot of space, it doesn't mean that we have to utilize the entire space and have all the machines scattered at different corners. It may create what you call maybe seems to be spacious, but the the distance traveled between different machines or equipments will be somewhat longer. So in order to avoid that, we have to make the layout more compact. Then principle of safety and satisfaction. Safety and satisfaction of employees as well as the customers has to be achieved. From safety point of view, the layout design should be such that it should avoid accidents and health hazards, as well as it should not create any environmental related issues within the organization, and also to achieve employee satisfaction. Even if it is a service oriented organization, the customer goodwill and customer satisfaction are very important while designing the plant layout. Then coming to the principle of flexibility, the layout should be as flexible as possible in order to accommodate new equipment or machinery or of higher capacity machinery in case of change in demand or change in product design or process. Then principle of minimum investment. So as there is some investment in designing the plant layout as well as establishing the plant as per the layout, the investment on the plant should be minimum. So keeping in all these points or principles in view, we have to proceed for designing the plant layout. Then types of layouts. Here we come across product layout, process layout, fixed position layout, then mixed layout and layout for service facilities. In detail, if we look at the product layout, here we have some important characteristics of the product layout. Here the focus is on product rather than the process. The facilities are arranged in the sequence of operations and duplication of facilities, because here we are arranging the machineries in the sequence in which the operations are carried out. Suppose, for example, drilling is an operation which is carried out at different stages. So initially we will have a drilling machine at one place, and the product will not come back to the same drilling machine for the next hole to be drilled. It will go to the next machine and next machine, and wherever the other drilling operation is required, there we will have another machine. As a result, we need to have multiple number of similar machines but at different points wherever the machine is required. And then special purpose machines or equipment are used, because here the products flow continuously, and there is possibility for having automation and conveyor system to move the material between machines, and the machines are selected such that in a balanced way the capacities of machines are such that there will be no bottlenecks at all. For example, if you look at sugar factory or a cement factory, where there will be no interruption, the material will be continuously flowing from one facility to the other facility. So in such case, definitely we need to have special purpose machines and equipment, and employees of low or moderate skill can do, because the machines are such that there is possibility of maximum automation of movement of materials between facilities. So it doesn't require employees of high skills. Low or moderate skills can do, and scope for automation and its extent is high and suitable for high volume low variety products. If the number of variety of products is low and volume of production is high, in such case we can go for product layout. The drawback is that if any machine in the line is broken down, even for a single machine breakdown, the entire production has to be stopped, because at any stage if any machine breaks down, definitely we have to stop the entire production line until the machine is ready. Then investment on machinery and equipment is high, because there is duplication of facilities, and we are going for special purpose machine or equipment. Definitely the investment on machinery and equipment will be high, and material handling is smooth and continuous provided the line is balanced. So these are all the characteristics of product layout. So here is a typical product layout where we have a cutting machine where the material is cut as per the dimensions, and then it will go to drilling machine and then milling and then grinding and finishing. So this is how it follows a line. Here if all the capacities of cutting, drilling, milling, grinding and finishing machines or the equipments which we use are balanced, there will be a smooth flow of product from one machine to the other machine or one department to the other department. Next, moving on to the product flow, how the product flows between different facilities. Here, depending on the type of product or the space available, the way how the machines are arranged, it may follow I flow. I flow means the product will start at one point and travels in a straight line. Suppose the space is not sufficient, then we may arrange the machines in L pattern so that the products will move first horizontally and then in a perpendicular direction, which will resemble L shape. So it enters at one end and leaves at the other end. Then U flow. Suppose we arrange all the machines such that the product will move from one end to the other end, then takes a U-turn and again moves back like this. So it may follow a U flow where it enters at one end and leaves from the same end. S flow. Suppose this space is available space is limited and the machines are arranged such that the product will follow a S type pattern. That means it will travel in the form of S like this. Or O flow. Suppose the machines or equipment are arranged in a circular pattern so that it will enter from one end and moves in a circular path like this and then moves out. So this is how we can arrange the machines within the plant so that the product may follow L shape or I shape or U shape or S shape or O shape, the shaped pattern, and it will move accordingly. Then coming to the characteristics of process layout, here the focus is on process rather than the product. In product layout the focus is on product, but here the focus is on process. So as we are focusing on the process, all the machines which may carry out a particular type of process will be arranged at one place. There will be no duplication of facilities because all drilling machines will be at one place, all milling machines will be at one place, all grinders will be at one place, like that. Similar facilities are arranged at one place in a department, no duplication of facilities. Here we can use general purpose machines, and as we are using general purpose machines, employees of high skills are desired to carry out any type of activity on the job, and there is scope for automation, but its extent is very low because there is backtracking of the materials between different departments. A product which finishes its operation in a particular department may visit the same department again after carrying out some other processes. So these kind of arrangement, that is a process layout, is suitable for low volume and high variety products. Then the advantage is that if any single machine is broken down, it will not affect the entire production because there is an alternate machine. All operators are highly skilled so that they can carry out any operation on a particular product depending on its design. So no need to stop the entire production line because of breakdown of any single machine. And invest on machinery and equipment is moderate or low because there is no duplication, as well as we are using general purpose machines, the cost will be less. And material handling is clumsy and discontinuous. Sometimes it may follow zigzag pattern, and there is backtracking of the product between the facilities. Even though the line is properly balanced, still there is possibility of production bottlenecks. Next, this is a typical process layout where you can see all lathes are arranged in a space. This is the department, and we have milling machines at one place and the grinding machines at one place, testing, packing, shaping machine, drilling machine, heat treatment plant. So the product, depending on the processes, it may follow any pattern like this. It may move from lathe to milling and then grinding, or it may move from lathe to shaping machine and then to drilling machine and then to milling. So here, depending on the product design, because we use this type of layout to produce high variety low volume products, depending on the product design, it may follow any path. So as we have arranged similar machines at one place in each department, this is how a typical process layout seems to be. Coming to the fixed position layout, this type of layout is suitable for product when its size is very large. For example, if you consider a ship, that is shipbuilding or aircraft manufacturing, or any bridge or dam or any uh, big construction, maybe a supermarket or a mall or any other such product where the product is very large, which cannot be made in a factory using our machinery. In such case, we have to go for fixed position layout. By fixed position layout, it means that the product will be at its place. We have to move all the resources required to the point of manufacture. That means all factors of production, man, material, machinery, money, even management has to be moved to the point of manufacture. It needs highly skilled employees and difficult to organize the resources and need project management skills because most of these products are one time affair mostly, and it may take a long time, maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, like that. So in order to optimize the utilization of all the employees or all factors of production, we need to have project management skills in order to finish the project within the time, and in order to balance the available resources, in order to optimize the utilization of available resources. So it's a very difficult task unless we have project management skills to carry out these kind of projects. Huge inventories and need proper mechanism to monitor and control because the product size of the product is such that it may require huge amount of inventory. Unless there is a proper care and mechanism to monitor and control, and as well as these products are made at outdoor, there will be less safety for the inventories, so much care should be taken in this type of layouts. And the huge inventories, strict activity control is essential to complete the project in time. So for each and every activity, depending on the duration required to finish the particular activity, unless the activities are carried out as per the schedule, it is very difficult to complete the project in time. If the project is delayed, automatically the costs will also increase. So project management techniques like CPM, PERT can be used to control the activities, to estimate the total duration of the project, and to see using Gantt chart we can analyze whether the activities are carried out as per the plan or not. And resource leveling and balancing skills are needed for smooth operations. So these are the characteristics of a fixed position layout. Coming to a typical fixed position layout, here you can see shipbuilding, aircraft manufacturing, commissioning of refineries, bridges, dams, factories, construction of factories. So these are all big products or projects. Here we have men, machinery, material, money, management, tools and equipment, everything have to be moved to the point of manufacture. Next is the mixed layout. A mixed layout will not have the characteristics of pure product layout or a pure process layout like that. So a mixed layout is a combination of product and process layout. If the product has high volume and high variety, in such case it is suitable. And here we use group technology layout. By group technology, similar products with similar designs are grouped, and the activities will be carried out by machines which are uh, mostly numerically controlled in a flexible manufacturing system. And high technology industries and high level of automation will be there. So if the nature of product is such that these things are met, in such case the mixed layout is suitable for such a product. And layout for service facilities, banks and other service sector where they offer service to the customers, depending on the type of service offered, depending on the service time each for each customer, how long a customer has to spent in the system and the service rate of the servers. That means how many customers a server can serve in a unit of time, maybe a minute or hour, and number of stages in providing the service, whether the service is provided in a single step or may take place in several stages, and the service mechanism, how the customer is selected to provide a service, and the extent of automation possible to provide service to the customer. So all these factors have to be considered while designing the layout for service facilities. So thank you very much for watching this video, and for more videos, like, share and subscribe my channel. This is Dr. Madhusudan Rao signing off.